What is going on? Beyond the break here with our weekly eBay purchases. I know it's been a little bit, took a little bit of a hiatus from the video producing content. Took a little bit of a break per se, but with that being said, I was still buying. Have our weekly eBay pickups. A little bit different. I kind of got into the prospecting a little bit on the baseball side. So if you're into the baseball side, especially from the 2025 Bowman Chrome, have a handful of cards that I've been picking up, some players I've been eyeing up, and kind of a strategy that I'm thinking about pursuing a little bit more as the months go on. Trying to evaluate PSA's delay per se that we're seeing there, as well as ways that we can send cards to PSA and anticipate when we'll be getting them back. So with that being said, I'll go into that strategy a little bit when I get to the cards. I will go through some of the cards that I picked up that are not considered prospecting, and then we'll go into the prospecting cards and then see which ones are gradable. So picked up this Derek Jeter Finest Refractor out of $3.99. Garrett Cole Purple Bowman Chrome out of $2.50. This is my favorite year Bowman Chrome, I think, or at least top 3. Winning Ticket, Aaron Rodgers. Trying to pick up a handful of his cards. One last year. This is out of 99. Got some Star Wars cards. I know some people aren't big fans of these, but been picked up a handful of these. Chris Bosh Blue Refractor from Topps Finest. This is numbered to $2.99. Rafael Devers just got traded. This is the all etched out of $99. Bryce Harper out of $2.50, and then Brunson Select. This is the quartz out of $49. So picked up a handful of other cards outside the Bowman Chrome. We'll always be doing that as I go through my consigners and see which ones are up for sale. All right, so we'll go through which we're picking up. My thought process here, and these next couple of videos will contain a lot of these cards. Again, my thought process is once I send these cards off, I don't anticipate these cards to be back by end of season. We'll hopefully get these back graded by fall, with the idea that these players will be big names potentially in spring training, potentially called up next year. I don't anticipate some of these players, maybe some late September call-ups, but for the most part, most of these players fit my realm of 1, being a position player, 2, within AA, and 3, under the age of 21. That's kind of what I'm going for right now. A lot of these guys are in that top 30 prospect of out of the 100 currently. So kind of diving into these, that's kind of my thought process. Now, I know a lot of these will not be first Bowman Chrome. They will be serial numbered for the most part. But with that being said, we'll get into it. So Lazaro Montes, top prospect for Seattle. Some say he's going to be the next Jordan. Sebastian Walcott. High on him, number 9 overall prospect in baseball for the Rangers. Another Lazaro out of $2.50. Yaroon Escobar. This is actually a Bowman first. As a Phillies fan, I've been following closely to him. This is out of the $1.99. Aiden Miller, I've been following me closely. I've been picking up a lot of his cards. This is out of $2.50. Cam Smith doesn't fit that realm since he's already up with Houston, but for fairly cheap, all these cards I got within that $8 to $10 range. It's $3.99. Colt Emerson with Seattle, number 1 prospect with Seattle. It's out of $2.50. Garcia with Boston, a power hitting right fielder. This is out of $1.99. Walcott again. Walcott out of $3.50. Max Clark, Detroit's top prospect. I anticipate he will be potentially in the league next year. We'll see. Another Escobar, another Emerson on a $3.50. Luis Pena, another top guy. Everyone's going after Jesus Made, but I think he might be better. Walcott. Christian Moore already got called up, but just really thought it was a cool card. Got this for a couple bucks out of $2.50. Braden Montgomery, recent first-round draft pick for Chicago. Aiden Miller out of $3.50. Zaire Hope, another big name kind of guy for the Dodgers. He's having a breakout season out of $1.99. Carson Williams, this is Bowman first, chrome or refractor. Walcott again, and then Christian Moore again out of 99. So a lot of those cards you see are numbered, serial numbered. A handful are first Bowmans. The rest are kind of more just prospecting. I figured, a lot of these guys, top 30 prospects, we'll see how they pan out. You never know, but definitely want to get these graded with anticipation in those back by, it's crazy to think about, but by next spring training. So I'll go through the cards, see which ones are gradable and which ones are not. Okay, so out of 32 cards, 22 came back gradable, which I'm pretty happy with. Obviously, when we buy a lot more newer cards, like the 2025 Bowman Chrome, we anticipate a little bit of a higher return on our, purchase that we get. So that being said, 22 cards being gradable is happy with my mind. I will say that even though they are 2025 Bowman Chrome, I haven't been too happy with the manufacturing. Some of them have some really wonky issues with them, whether it's the centering or just random dimples, scratches, what you name it. So, and I found that when I open a couple packs as well. So just something I've noticed as of late. But with that being said, we'll dive into them. So what we deem gradable, we'll go through the Bowman Chrome ones first. The Clark out of 499 clean. The Luis Pena Speckle first. Emerson out of 350. The Escobar. Centering for the 2025 is going to be interesting. I haven't seen any returned yet from PSA on eBay or whatnot, but I know left and right, obviously you can tell centering on that. Top to bottom is where it gets a little finicky because, front looks good and then sometimes the back even looks better or worse. So it is going to be interesting how they grade that. This is 2024. This is a little bit easier to grade from a centering standpoint. Walcott refractor clean. Montgomery blue shimmer out of 150 clean. A little bit thicker on the right, but other than that, everything else looked good. Aiden Miller's is an example of one where I think the centering is a little bit thicker on the top, but if you look at the back here, centering looks a little bit better from top to bottom. So we'll see, like I said. Some of these I can definitely tell from top to bottom. We'll go through one, so I'm definitely not sending. But with that being said, some of these I will look to potentially risk a little bit of it. So the Hope out of 199 clean. Carson Williams. The Christian Moore out of 250. The Miller out of 250. The Walcott out of 350. The Walcott out of 199. The Moore out of 99. Emerson and Smith all look clean. And then for the non-Bowman Chrome, these ones I probably won't ship anytime soon to PSA, but the Devers out of 99, the Brunson Select Courtside out of 49, the two Star Wars out of the 3 look clean, and then the Bosch actually I was pretty happy with, the blue, such a clean card, out of 299, potential 10 I think. And then lastly the Harper out of 250, clean. So, alright, let's get into the ones that we found that were not gradable and show reasons why we're not sending the PSA. So I'll start with the Lazaros. This is one again where the centering, like I talked about, this one you can clearly see. I probably should never even bid on this. Centering is just completely off top to bottom. You can see even on the back, top to bottom. So I'm just not going to risk that for that type of card. If it was an auto, maybe low numbered, we'll see. But just for the fact that it's just a speckle or mini diamond, whatever it is, it's just not worth it. The Garcia centering looked good here, just a classic case of some dimples in the back here. See if I can get on camera. There it is right there. I don't know if I can get on camera though. There. A nice fingernail imprint, so unfortunately we'll not be sending that. Walcott, same situation as Lazaro. It's just for the mini diamond centering. It's just not worth shipping to PSA. The Jeter, unfortunately, just too much whitening on the back here, on the corners. It's not worth it. The other Star Wars card, whitening in the back with being a black border. It's tough, challenging it as it is. Let's see here. All of these had minor issues. The Lazaro, something you want to always look out for is on the front. I believe there was it the front? Some scratches along here, along his arm there. So always want to look out for some scratch marks. What was the other thing? Oh, right here. You can see going up and down. I don't know what you would call that. It doesn't look like it's bent or anything, but it's definitely noticeable. So you get a better angle on that. There it goes. You can see it's all the way up top there. So fortunately, that is a no. The Escobar just had some whitening up top here. Actually had some like a corner damage up top. You can see lifting up a little bit. Scratch marks all across the coal. Centering again. I don't know. We'll see if I hold on to this one, but just for me, the centering is just too much for that type of card. And then the classic with the Panini Contenders, like you always see, is just dimples on the back here. You got a dimple there. You had a little bit of a lift here on the corners, just for it being a thicker card. It's no surprise what what you find for those. But I'll take the 22 out of 32 cards that we deem gradable. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Hoping to have a couple cards, a couple great submissions back by PSA. Some of them are moving along in the grading stages. On top of that, we'll have some other videos, some pickups that we've got. We have a large video coming up next on the amount of cards we picked up recently. Again, somewhere along the lines of a lot of Bowman Chrome and prospecting. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And as always, leave comments in the comment section. Till next time, peace.